Hello, good day everyone. I often get asked about Finnish foods because who doesn't love food? And I often say that the best Finnish food is lohikeitto or salmon soup because it is delicious. And today I'm gonna show you how to make it. First I just gotta take the dogs on a walk, but pretty much this video is just gonna be the approximate process of making salmon soup and some clips of the dogs being dogs. So yeah, I hope you'll enjoy, and I hope your salmon soup will turn out good if you make it one day. Let's go. Pojat, ulos. 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 And hello, it's voice over Elairida speaking now. Here is all the vegetables that you need. You need carrots, potatoes, onions, and leek. You want to start by peeling and chopping the onions small, and you want to cook them on a very low heat for a very, very long time. You really want to let them take their time. This is the base of the soup, and this gives the soup the taste. With the onions, you want to put the seasoning, or some of the seasoning. You put some oil, canola oil for example. You put a lot of black pepper, not too much, just enough. You put some sugar or brown syrup like I did, and then you put a good chunk of butter, and that's just going to create a perfect soup base. After that, it's time to peel and chop the veggies, the carrots and the potatoes, the leek, and also the salmon. Peeling small potatoes is really annoying, so just be prepared for this. This takes quite a bit of time doing this, so if you can force your family members or guests or whatever you have to do some of the chopping for you, it makes it a lot faster to get this going. Also remember to wash your leek very well because they are filthy. You want to get into every single crack and rub them really thoroughly. Gotta tell you, otherwise you're gonna have sand in your soup, and that's not great. That's not great. Yeah, I forgot to film me chopping the green parts, but the green parts are the best for the soup. I'm gonna use the white parts, which I'm chopping here. I will use them for a quiche of some sort. But the white parts are also good for soup if you're making big enough soup that you can put a whole leek in it. Normally a whole leek is kind of much for a soup if you make it for just like 4 to 8 people, like I do. Then there's a humongous salmon. I'm chopping the whole salmon. I'm putting some of it to freezer to freeze for a bad day, but also if you put some of it to freezer, you can later on add that salmon into the soup when you're reheating it as leftovers, and it's gonna be just a little bit tastier because the salmon isn't falling apart as much. The salmon doesn't stay the best when you're reheating it over and over, so while you're reheating the soup, adding salmon that's not been cooked yet can be convenient. Also, the salmon probably has little fish bones in it and you want to remove them. You also want to remove the grey parts, and you want to get as much of the salmon into the soup as possible because salmon is expensive. Very, very expensive. So yeah, at least here in Finland. I don't know how it is where you are. And now we're looking at the onions who have been bubbling for a while. They are looking good, they are looking tasty, and we're gonna start cooking the stuff. So we're gonna put in the carrots, we're gonna put in some water that I heated in the kettle. We're gonna add some salt, or I'm using some vegetable stock powder here. Anything, just make sure that there's salt with the veggies while you're boiling them. It makes them tastier. And yeah, when the carrots are properly boiling, you can add the potatoes, and you can add some more salt or vegetable stock powder or cubes or whatever you prefer to use here. Or if you make your own fancy vegetable stock, then like, good for you, but I'm not doing that. That's too difficult for my little brain. Vegetables are vihannekset in Finnish, specifically like the vegetables that grow underground are called juurekset. And now we're adding some cheese. This is kind of a Finnish cream cheese type of thing. It's not a cream cheese. It's I think we call this sulatejuusto, which means like meltable cheese. It's called koskenlaskia. You should not mistake it for koskenkorva. That's vodka. This is cheese. And you want to put it into the boiling water and mix it in with the potatoes and the carrots. Next time, checking if the potato is already cooked. Spoiler alert, it's not yet, but this is how I check it. I take a big piece of potato, I cut it in half, and then I chomp on it. I taste it with my teeth. Now I'm adding a frig ton of dried dill, which is like the main seasoning of this thing. If you don't like dill, you probably won't like this soup. But if you're like, I'm not the biggest fan of dill, but I still love this soup. You only hate this soup if you absolutely despise dill. You just need to be okay with dill, and you'll enjoy this. And then we put in the salmon. As I said, I put quite a little bit of salmon, not too much salmon, just an appropriate amount of salmon. You want to add the salmon at the very end when the potatoes are basically cooked. You want to add the salmon and the leek. You don't want to cook the leek too much. You can add more leek as well. Salmon and leek you can add more whenever you're reheating the soup, because neither of them benefits from cooking it for too long. Last time putting some cream in the soup, and to not make waste, I always take some hot water from the tab and I like wishy-wash the little cream can, and there I add some lemon juice. And basically, yeah, now I'm gonna taste the thing and I'm gonna notice that it doesn't taste right. So I'm gonna add more of literally everything. We're gonna add more salt, we're gonna add more sweetness, we're gonna add more dill, we're gonna add more black pepper, we're gonna add more lemon juice, we're gonna add more of everything. And then I'm like, yeah, now it tastes right. Then we're happy with it, then we serve it on a plate. You eat it with some bread. On the bread I put some koskenlaskia, which is the cheese that I put in the soup earlier, but you can also put butter on your bread. Or literally anything, I don't care what you put on your bread. Like, it's gonna taste good. Also, if you're real Finn, you would eat this with some rye bread, but I'm not a real Finn, apparently. Now that's all. Enjoy your soup. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.